might be aware, there are these shoes meant to be coming out courtesy of MSCHF, which are essentially MSCHF essentially putting out these Astro Boy red booties that have been taking over my flipping timeline and been absolutely everywhere, right? They've been covered from flipping pillar to post, even though they're not even out at the moment, right? They're not even out at the moment, and they've been everywhere. And I'm kind of over them already, don't get me wrong, but I think as a concept, I really do enjoy them and I really do like them. And I think when MSCHF do stuff like this, these sort of fun projects where they kind of, it's a little bit nostalgia baiting, it's a little bit it's a little bit of a cheat code in some respects because of the nostalgia attached to Astro Boy and the affinity people have with those sort of animes and cartoons and whatnot. But overall, I think it's very, very well done, especially when you consider how faithful it is to the original illustration or the original cartoon. It looks actually like it in real life. The only issue with it, obviously, as you see on the screen, is practically what that would look like when you actually wear it with real outfits going forward. But there's all these little bits and pieces I'm going to read where people sharing some bits of information regarding it. So far, I think we know it's going to come out sometime in February, and I think it's priced around $350 or something around that kind of mark. So it's somewhat affordable if in that price range. I think it's even cheaper than a flipping than a steroid boot for Balenciaga, to be fair. I think it's way more cheap. I think steroid boot Balenciaga might be 700 or even 900. So anyway, it continues here. It says this is a little clip, I guess, taken from some promotion material regarding the new boots coming out. It says here, MSCHF launching cartoon boots for a core 3D world. MSCHF's next project sees the release of an Astro Boy inspired shoe that brings Mighty Atom into real life. Astro Boy was brought into the world in 1952 by Osamu Tezuka, wherein 112 chapters of the manga were serialized in Kobushi Sons until 1968. Over the years, we've seen countless illusions of the character in footwear and fashions, bait being the most prevalent, though the multiple collaborative projects, but none coming more literal than this. Next screen. It says, never before have we seen an adaptation done in such a manner. MSCHF calls them the big and red, stating that the big red boots are really not shaped like feet, but extremely shaped like boots. The pair replicates the same shape of the Astro Boy footwear choice, complete with the lip and the top of the ankle and a comfortable EVA sole underfoot. Looking at the outsole, we see a ribbed gripped outsole with MSCHF's only instance of branding, which is pretty decent, right? The fact that they didn't put any unnecessary annoying branding on the side, no stamp on the back of the heel, and they just trusted the design and kind of wanted to put something out that was tasteful and just put it up at the bottom. I have to give them praise and props for that, because the temptation probably was there to actually put the stamp on the side. But I think the fact that they look so iconic, right? The big red boots, I think immediately people will associate with Astro Boy, but mostly they'll associate him with MSCHF, because for the most part, most people wearing these have never read an Astro Boy manga, let alone watch the anime or any cartoons or anything attached with it. I doubt it. So I do think the little hit of MSCHF on the sole was a really good idea and a good design choice for them going forward, and actually makes them look better than what they actually are. But of course, when it comes to being comfortable and stuff, I'm not really too sure if these are really going to work for most people. And, as you can see with this little clip here that I'm featuring playing on the screen, somebody, a hype beast, I'm assuming, grabbed them and put them to wear. They come in a really massive, big red box, oversized, absolutely incredible size box. I think he's got all the other MSCHF shoes as well, so he's a bit of a collector when it comes to MSCHF stuff, and they typically look pretty horrible. It looks like with regular clothes. There is maybe a assertion that you should maybe get them and wear things that are a little bit, it's like people that wear what's that thing called? What, they're snow boots? So they're snow boots, or they're called moon boots. Most people that I see wearing moon boots are usually wearing them in a very non-ironic, or no, a very ironic sort of Y2K way. And they're sort of kind of going a bit crazy with the styling in that regard to make those boots work. You're very rarely seeing people just wearing moon boots with skinny jeans and a black hoodie. Because if you're going to wear those type of boots, why not go a little bit crazy with the uppers? So I think with these Astro Boy boots, you probably need to do the same thing going forward. The only thing with me is that when I see people wearing these type of boots and I see them wearing hidden t-shirts, immediately I kind of be like, you know what? I don't really want to be associated with that type of hype beast, with that type of streetwear fan, with that type of head. It's not something that I really want to see and be cool with. So, if anything, all this viral marketing that's been done really well online for them has been a bit of a blessing and a curse, because you've seen some people rock them and make them look cool, and you've also seen some people wear them like this dude and look completely dorky and completely lame and something that you don't want to be associated with, especially when you see him prancing around somewhere in a car park outside of his house wearing these silly boots, wearing a flipping stupid hidden t-shirt. So clearly, or hidden and white, whatever that shit flipping page is called. So clearly it's not something that I'm really, really interested in that regard. But still, I think as a design, as something to look at, as a spectacle, I think it looked pretty cool and pretty interesting. I think overall, I'd much rather see iterations of these flipping, boots from cartoons and shit, made into real things, or inspiration of those things kind of plowed into real things, then I would like to see companies going out and making flipping horrible copies of Jordan 1s and sticking Dice logos or Thunderbolts on the side of them. I much prefer it when they try to do these interesting projects with shoes and try and basically, offer something a bit fresh and a bit interesting going forward. Because I think if you're not a sneaker company, you probably owe it yourself to do that. If you come from it from like a fashion, creative, project design point of view, why not try something different? Why not try something a bit interesting and kind of throw it out there? The only thing I was really interested about is that, can you actually have the wrong foot on? Is that possible to have the left on the right? Because they're all kind of rounded shape, right? This very round, oblong, oval type shape of the shoe, but maybe on the inside, maybe it has a bit of an instep on the inside. I'm not really too sure, but on the outside, they don't look like you could tell what side is left or side is right. But I'm sure that does come that way. And also, I did see from the box that they are sized, so they don't come like, I thought they'd be like a size range because of how tight they are. You could just basically have it small, medium, large, but they do actually come as a size. So if you're on a US 11, a US 8, US 7, blah, 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 you can get those as well ordered. So clearly that's a thing there. But so far, in terms of outfits, I think there's a campaign here for that MSCHF actually did, featuring the one and only Sarah Schneider, and she actually looks fairly decent in them. But I think the issue with these boots, for the most part, what I've seen, they look quite cool stationary when people are sat down chilling. They don't really look that great in motion, and I think a lot of the stuff, fashion in general, I think for the most part, a lot of things online, that's the issue sometimes with buying stuff online too much. Seeing stuff in person or seeing other people wear them in real life can really give you an idea of whether or not something's going to work for you or not. And these days, because there's not really many great retail stores, the outside scene or outdoor scene isn't as great as it once was before. There's not really spots where people collect and and group. Maybe outside of fashion weeks, I can't really think of any other places where a lot of people that are into the same brands that I'm into would be out and about, so I wouldn't necessarily understand or know how certain things work. I think of something like a Salomon XT6s and stuff. When I saw them online, I never really liked them, but now that I've seen them outside and people wearing them day to day, has become a really popular shoe model, I've now kind of been able to put them into context and be like, you know what, this could work with this outfit, this could work with that look. But before, when I just saw them as a product image with a white background, I was like, you know what, that's not for me. So you need to see these in IRL. But I feel like these boots, they just work stationary. They work, sat down somewhere. They work maybe, jumping in an Uber and go straight to a location where you're going to get stuff brought to your table, or you're going to go to a bar that's 2 meters away from your table. But actually going out, interacting with the world and living day by day, I'm not really too sure if they're going to work. I'm interested to see if that guy, what's that kid's name? Is it Burberry Berry or something? The guy with the spiked hair that is part of Opium and does the kind of wear test, and he puts on loads of hype shoes and kind of goes to the skate park and does crazy, tricks and whatnot, wearing really hype shoes and gets people crying in the comments. I wonder if he's gonna go out and try and skate them, because that would be pretty cool to see if he's able to kind of actually wear them, and skate them and ollie and whatnot and kick flip and whatnot, do some grinds, whatever it may be called out there in the skate park. That'd be pretty sick to see. But these images of Sarah Schneider wearing them, they don't look too bad. But again, she's like, I'd imagine, again, people in pictures always look taller than what they are in real life. But I'd imagine in real life, she must be like 5'1", 5'2" or something. She's very slight, very skinny, very slim girl. So clearly they're going to look quite cool on her in this way. But I still think, personally for me, they need a bit of effort to be worn, to be look good. I just think just wearing them with like a basic like average outfit you'd wear if he's gonna wear a pair of Dr. Martens. I don't think they usually work. I think actually wearing them and going out of your way to kind of style them in a really cute way, you know, as she's wearing in this sort of outfit with a skirt and the top of the holes on it, I think this kind of lends itself quite well to it. Obviously, the picture here with the go kart as well looks pretty cool. I think this works really well with the flipping police cars in the background, but yeah, stationary pictures, not too shabby. The official marketing campaign pictures of them don't necessarily sell them that well to me, I'm not going to lie. But there have been some images of regular people who've grabbed the pair that don't look too bad. Like this guy, that he's wearing them with a pair of shorts at home. They don't look too shabby. They actually look better with shorts on. Case in point, the Astro Boy character has got these like metal flipping boxer brief type of things going on, which I think would actually be a good thing. I'd imagine somebody's probably going to make a pair of those, right? Wherever those little short things are that he puts on. So clearly that's pretty much of a good look. I wouldn't mind seeing those. I wonder if MSCHF put out a black pair, if they ever do put out, I don't think they will because they don't really usually do colorways of stuff, right? It's usually one drop of a shoe the way they want it and then whatever else goes from their little projects. But I wonder if they did put out a black pair, if somebody like a Kanye would wear them with his look that he likes doing, the skinny jeans and the bomber jacket and shit. I wonder if that would be a thing that he'll end up doing. But they look pretty decent here in a somewhat normal looking dude wearing a pair of shorts. I'm not really too mad at that look. And there's another look here, I think. Oh, I don't have the one with the Suki in it, that Suki girl, but it's another one with another girl who's wearing them that look pretty decent. But I think this with the joggers tucked into them don't look the greatest. I think them one, the shorts look pretty decent. If anything, the actual cartoon, if you think about it, the image of the cartoon on Astro Boy, the boots kind of look like they come up a little bit higher than what they actually made them. So maybe because of how they crease and how uncomfortable they may be to take on and off, they maybe made an executive decision design-wise and made them a bit shorter. But from the cartoon, they look like they go up into his knees. Like they look like really, really high boots. One of the boots like Italian girls like wearing when they come to London. Those kind of riding boot thing nonsense, those shiny ones. They kind of remind me of those. But the box is pretty cool. You got this foam on the inside and the two boots put side by side. I'd imagine the import tax and duty on these, if you're going to ship them from overseas, is going to be a lot of money. So I'm not looking forward to anybody doing that and buying them in the UK, but okay to see what's going to happen. But overall, I think interesting project. I think it's a smart idea. It throws up interesting design proposition. I'm not too mad at it in the slightest, and I think it's a quite a fun thing to do. And like I said before, like I much prefer fashion companies doing stuff like this than copying another Jordan, another Air Max 1 design, another New Balance design, and just adding their logo on the side of it. That's boring. Let's kind of be creative and do things that, you know, maybe sneaker companies can't do because they're a little bit stuck in their ways and, you know, whatever it may be, and just take the easy way out and try and offer something interesting and fresh that may be aligning more to our brand and what we're about. And I think this is definitely a good way to go about things. So not mad at these the slightest. I love the idea, but overall I think the aggressive marketing and influencer seeding campaign of it has kind of put me off. There's been a few people showcased wearing them who have not necessarily liked the way they've kind of dropped them and what they kind of look like, and it's kind of maybe just put me off overall. And I do feel like it's been a little bit of I feel a little bit like played, like payola, like I feel a little bit like manipulated into kind of liking them in a weird way because they're a little bit nostalgia based. Do you know what I mean? Like if I didn't recognize a cartoon or didn't understand it or didn't really remember seeing images of Nigo, I'm thinking one of his houses with massive flipping life-size figurines of Astro Boy and stuff, and remembering where that's from, then I wouldn't really be down with it. Do you understand? So it's kind of, I felt like I'm being a little bit duped. Like, do I actually like them, or is it because they are tied to a part of my childhood or growing up in a scene that I'm still look at fondly, and when I see these images again, suddenly I like it? I'm not really too sure, but either way, I do like the approach to it. I think some people have started them pretty decent, some people started them pretty horribly. I think for the most part, this guy did obviously the worst job ever in terms of styling them, making them look good. I think anybody that saw this guy wear them would definitely not going to wear them and want them anymore because he looks like a lame hidden t-shirts, definitely for an L. But overall, happy to see something fresh out there. I'm happy to see something fresh out there.